Well, in this segment of our Essentials to Muzzleloading video series, I want to talk to you about a subject that I know you and I probably prefer not to discuss, and that is cleaning our muzzleloaders or long-term muzzleloader maintenance. In this particular setup, I have a CVA Acura LRX that is obviously black soft touch coating with a nitride and Cerakote finish on top of the barrel, which makes this gun pretty impervious to weather or corrosion. But that doesn't mean you still don't have to clean and take care of your gun. These guns here in particular can be an heirloom gun or a lifelong gun if you take care of them properly. And of course you see some cleaning accessories here on our website, CVA.com. We have a wide array of cleaning accessories, and that includes patches, barrel blaster. Obviously we have some brushes here. This is one of my favorite. This is our barrel blaster solvent, and this right here, I utilize this amazing tray to remove my breech plug, put it in that tray and let it soak in that part soaker, which really helps break down kind of that baked on powder residue that you experience in that breech plug. This gun here in particular is the CVA Acura LRX, and as you can see, it has the black soft touch coating on it and also the nitrided and Cerakoted barreled action. And just because this gun here has the coatings that make it impervious to weather or corrosion from powder, still doesn't mean you don't have to break it down and clean it. And what I'm going to do here in the rest of this video is show you how to quickly break this gun apart and clean it so that it does last you a lifetime. So this gun in particular comes apart very fast. It has the lever on the bottom here, the forend. You pull that lever down, forend comes off very quickly. This model here, the Acura series, has that. It's a touch different than our other models like the Wolf and the Optima. They also break down very quickly, but instead of having the lever on the bottom, they actually have a flathead screwdriver to actually remove that forearm, so it's very easy to take that apart as well. This guy here is just a touch quicker. And then to break the barrel down away from the receiver, you basically pull the trigger guard in the back, and then it comes apart just like that. One of the main features, obviously, that we think about cleaning is the barrel. And what I like to do, so I'm the guy that when I'm on a bench, I prefer to clean after every shot. That means one damp patch and one dry patch. But if you guys are running the modern powder of Blackhorn 209, which is the cleanest and most advanced powder that's on the market today, and in theory, you don't have to clean after every shot with that powder. I'm just a creature of habit, so I like to make sure that my barrel is cleaned at every shot. That way that when I go to the field with a very clean barrel, I'm shooting the same as I was on the bench. So consistency is always accuracy in a muzzleloader, so make sure that barrel is clean. But if you're running Blackhorn, you don't specifically have to clean after every shot. But one thing you also have to do for sure at the end of your range time and or your hunting season is break the gun apart very in-depth per se. This is a QRBP, or a quick removable breech plug, that's in the back. Obviously comes apart with just your fingers like I showed you there. But one thing that I want to make sure that once you soak this breech plug in our part soaker right here that I talked about earlier, you want to make sure that when you reassemble that breech plug into your barrel after the barrel is clean, and I have a breech plug here to show you, we have our breech plug grease. Want to make sure that you always put a little bit of this breech plug grease on the threads before you reassemble it back into your muzzleloader. And one very key thing that I want you to remember when you have this gun on a bench cleaning it like I am here today is there's a very common piece that we see come into the factory where guys don't clean their firing pin assemblies. You want to make sure that you focus on that very extensively, and it's very easy to remove the firing pin assembly, so I don't want you to think that talking about removing the firing pin assembly is very complex, because it's not. In every muzzleloader that we sell, it comes with this flat bar tool here, and if you notice on the end, it's kind of a flathead screwdriver with a bit of a cutout or recess in the front portion of the blade. This here is used to remove the firing pin assembly. So basically, once you have the barrel and the forend off, you actually take your tool, remove your firing pin bushing, which is what your firing pin assembly actually slides through. And once you remove that firing pin bushing here that's in the face of the receiver, it will come out. The firing pin will come out with a little bitty spring, and it's not going to per se jump out at you when you remove the bushing. It's not under a lot of pressure. So I want to make sure you clean that, because these are modern inline muzzle loaders, and even though our breech plug is very well designed and eliminates most all blowback, if you do shoot it a bunch on the range, there could be a little bit of debris from the primers that will black out the face of the receiver, and some of it could get into your firing pin assembly, which we want to make sure is always free and clear of corrosion and or debris. And one quick way that you can know that your firing pin is working properly is with everything removed, like I have it here, just the bare receiver. You can actually squeeze your trigger assembly or pull your trigger back, then you can push your hammer forward. If you notice, with the trigger not pulled, you can't push the hammer forward, but with the trigger pulled, you can push your hammer forward, and doing that, it actually causes your firing pin to protrude out the front of the receiver, and once you let go of the hammer, then it goes back. So you can actually test this to verify that your firing pin is working properly. But at the end of your shooting session or end of hunting season, you want to make sure that you remove that firing pin bushing and firing pin assembly. But as far as the barrel itself, typically on a range day, I like to swab after every shot with a damp patch and a dry patch. For accuracy in muzzleloaders, it's all about consistency, and if you have a clean barrel every time that you squeeze the trigger, you can repeat that accuracy when you're in the field, because you typically always go to the field with a clean barrel. So I like to clean after every shot, but at the end of the day, at the end of the range day, if I've been shooting 15, 20, 30 rounds on the range and I'm running the Blackhorn 209 powder, I typically can clean this barrel up with 3 or 4 or 5 damp patches and a couple dry patches, and that basically gets me cleaned up there at the end of the day. When we wrap up the cleaning of this gun, we want to make sure for storing our muzzleloader, number one, we want to make sure we run one final pass down the barrel with a damp oil patch. That way we protect the inside of the barrel, but you also want to treat this muzzleloader like any other firearm that you have in your arsenal, and that's basically store that in a very dry environment, aka a gun vault that is climate controlled of some sort. That way that it lasts through the wintertime and don't have any rust issues. But that kind of wraps up our this segment, but I want to make sure that we talk about one topic, and that is, as humans, we're always procrastinators. We always wait to the last minute. Make sure that at the end of hunting season, you don't just put that gun up in the vault and let it sit there all winter, and then basically through the summer as well, not clean. So don't wait till the last minute to clean your muzzleloader. Always do it when you're finished up at the end of the range or the end of hunting season. That way this gun here is an heirloom gun and it lasts you a lifetime. For any more information on all the cleaning supplies that we have on our website, or any information about the guns that we manufacture, the Optima, the Wolf, and or the Acura series, you can go to CVA.com and get all the information you need.